You know what? You know what I'm excited about the most is really sharing resources, tutorials, stories, things that are going to help people from all over, right? And I think for me, last few years we've been really focused on Southern California with helping humans and dogs. I've been to New York. I've been to Vegas. I've been to Chicago. I've gotten to kind of travel a little bit, but having YouTube, having TikTok, Facebook, and all these different avenues, people to find us and the information, the education we'll be posting on these pages, I'm very excited about. And for me, I always tell people I like to kind of make it relatable. And, so I don't know if this is my dog, Ari. I have a Malinois, but I also have a Bully Breeze. She's taking a nap over there. Gigi's the one who has the big platform who started this whole community. And what I like talking about is kind of like the struggles, which I'll actually be doing a virtual support group with my good friend and trainer Izzy, actually later this month, I believe. And I'm about kind of be talking about what I'm going to talk about right now, which is the one of the biggest struggles I probably had last year was in incorporating a multi-dog household. Of course, when I foster and things like that, it's a lot different because I kind of get to kind of really create and rotate heavily, which I still did with these two as well. But it was more of the outlook like I'm helping build this dog to go to another home versus, Ari was who was staying with Gigi and I. And the struggle was not only they're two different dogs, not only just breed wise, but dog wise. Their personality, their traits, their behaviors, their genetic makeup, things like that, their decision making. If you have a Malinois, they're bouncing off the wall. She had a big morning, she had a big week, so that's why she's very relaxed. But anytime she gets to lay on me, she's happy. It kind of like I drain her energy, but when they interact, she's very like, I'm in Gigi's face, I'm in Gigi's face. And in the beginning, that wasn't going to work. So in the beginning, it was a lot of crate and rotate, tons, heavy. Full, I'm just talking about every day, all day. I would spend time with Arya while Gigi saw it, and vice versa. So they both got to see that they both mean something to me. And it was hard for both because it was hard for Arya because she's brand new to this environment, never lived here, never met me, never met Gigi. It's hard for Gigi because after my older senior dog passed, Gigi was by herself for a year or like right around a year, and so now Gigi's having to welcome this new one, but not just this new dog. You have to realize it's also this dog to me, her handler as well, that she's also having to process like, oh, I thought this was just my handler. So there was separation anxiety, resource guarding could have happened. Um, they've had some disagreements. It didn't get too crazy, but they've had some disagreements along the way. And, that's where the failure happens. But within failure, you learn. And I think, with that, it helps us become better, not only as handlers, but as humans, because no matter what anybody says, everybody has a little, even a slither type of ego, because you have this thing to where you felt like you've understood this piece of life, but there's always something to learn. And, life continues to humble us. And I think that's the beautiful thing about life. So it's from the standpoint of like, I spend a lot of individual time with them, but also collectively, right? I have two dogs. There's people that have like 10 dogs, right? And it's just like once you kind of build this understanding and this relationship and your dogs understand it, and it doesn't have to be any type of pressure or there's like, of course, the dogs are always going to have some type of like back and forth. Everybody does. Like we have friends, we have family members that we go back and forth with, we compete with. It's all type of that, but when they have this comfort and you lay this foundation for them to where you teach them certain behaviors, like Gigi's on place right now. She's knocked out on place. It's like a lifted bed mat. Like there they go to place. They both know crate. They both know things where I say break, they break, they take a break. If you set your dog up for success, if you advocate for your dog, it's about management. It's don't assume, don't like, it's just like your dog is communicating to you nonstop. I always hear when I do sessions or something, there's like, oh, it happened out of nowhere. They're recluse. We just weren't paying attention as humans, and that's okay. I'm not here to make people feel bad. I'm just here to point out the facts. We have to take accountability as humans. Our dogs are continuously communicating with us, whether it's with stiffness, eyes, ears, like if they lower their head, their tail. There's just so many different signs, even how they deliver the information, right? That they ask for space. We're just thinking they're trying to like play it. No, they're not playing. They're asking for space if they kind of go the other way. So to me, there's always these different type of things that we have to take accountability for as the humans of the caretakers of dogs. And something that stood out to me last year was that very thing. Is like as I started to become more involved to individually advocate for my dogs and how they were, she's very sensitive, right? So I had to catch certain things that kind of made her like cower away, and I had to like help her through that. Gigi likes her space. She's very patient. She has a strong threshold because Ari would be like that. But that's soon enough, like when our Gigi gave me that stone cold look, like, hey, I made sure to break them, right? And when you do these things consistently, your dog's like, they understand me, they get me. I don't have to take matters into my own hands. And you kind of develop this thing to where they can coexist, they can be peaceful around each other, they can enjoy each other's company, they become stronger. You guys become stronger as a group. And for me, I like to talk about those struggles because everybody just will see the social media videos like, oh, they're getting along. They do get along. They love hanging out with each other, right? But I just feel like we like to have this idea of dogs, but we also forget that we're not perfect. We fight with people we love. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like we pick and choose what we want to make the idea of dogs when we humanize them. I mean, I'm not a big fan of humanizing dogs, but they leave out the most important parts of like how we feel when we're bothered, right? And they don't expect the dog to have feelings, which is, it's that's crazy, but it's a part of it. So when I talk to people I work with, I'm like, no, no, your dog's communicating right now. You want to give it space. Those are the things we got to take accountability for. Going into 2026, I want to give that type of educational resources to set not only dogs up for success, but humans. Both. Both matter to me, both sides. I love humans, I love dogs. And I want to see both thrive. I want to see both start to understand. And it's not just about for the result. It's about the understanding and the recognition and the awareness, like where the humans start to be like, oh wow, they are communicating with me, and they can start to catch on to it. They start to get to know their dog on a deeper level and understand those small little cues, which they can actually start helping other people when other people don't like, when they put their dogs in terrible situations. So starting this way, I'm very excited for this page and all the information that's going to come this way. Obviously, I'm just blah 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 blah. But any questions you guys have, please put in the comment section. And I'm just excited, man. For me, I mean, I live by airport, so you guys are hearing all the fun stuff go above my head. But I'm just very excited to what's to come for all these pages that we have, and all the tutorials and testimonials. So, thank you all.